There's a specific pressure, cool, insistent, impossibly gentle, that finds you at the most ordinary moments of your day. You're sitting at your desk, or lost somewhere in a book, or just standing at the kitchen counter waiting for the coffee to finish. And then, there it is. That soft, deliberate push against your hand or your leg. You glance down. Your dog is looking up at you. With a kind of quiet certainty, like they've delivered exactly the message they intended. And maybe you reach down and give them a scratch and move on with your morning. But have you ever stopped to wonder what exactly just happened? Because the nose nudge, that small, unremarkable gesture that probably happens multiple times a day in your home, turns out to be one of the most psychologically layered forms of communication your dog has. Thousands of years ago, long before dogs became the creatures who steal your side of the couch and sigh dramatically when dinner is 5 minutes late, their ancestors navigated the world almost entirely through scent and touch. The nose was, and still is, the most sophisticated instrument a dog possesses. It processes information at a level that makes our own sensory experience look almost rudimentary. But beyond gathering information, the nose was also a tool of social contact. In wolf packs, nose-to-body contact signals deference, affection, and a kind of active social maintenance, a way of saying I see you, I am with you, we are still connected. Subordinate wolves nudge more dominant pack members as a gesture of acknowledgement and closeness. Mothers nudge pups to regulate them. Pack members nudge each other during stress, during reunion, during rest. That ancient social architecture didn't vanish when dogs moved into our homes. It adapted. The instinct to make nose contact, to reach out and touch, simply redirected. And the target of that primal, ancient impulse became you. When your dog approaches you during a quiet moment, when you're reading or working, or sitting somewhere in your own head, and presses their nose against your hand or your knee, they're not interrupting you. Not exactly. What's actually happening is closer to a check-in. Dogs are exquisitely attuned to shifts in your presence, and stillness to them sometimes reads as absence. Your body is there, but your attention has drifted somewhere they can't follow. The nudge is a soft request to return. You might think it's simply about wanting attention, but it's really about re-establishing connection, re-anchoring the bond that your distraction briefly loosened. There's a difference, and it's a meaningful one. Then there's the nudge that comes out of nowhere. You haven't called your dog's name. You haven't moved toward them. You haven't done anything to invite contact. And yet, there they are, crossing the room with quiet purpose to press their nose against your arm and then just stay there for a moment. This one tends to catch people off guard, and it should, because this particular nudge is almost always about your dog's emotional state, not yours. Something shifted internally, a passing anxiety, a need for grounding, and your dog sought out the one thing in their environment that reliably makes them feel stable: you. This might look like clinginess to a casual observer, but it's actually emotional regulation. Your presence is functioning as a kind of anchor, and the nudge is how your dog makes contact with it. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Some dogs nudge with uncanny precision during moments of human emotional shift, right after a difficult phone call, during a tense conversation, in the quiet following something hard. You haven't said anything. Your face may not have changed much, but your dog crosses the room anyway, finds your hand, and nudges. Researchers studying canine emotional sensitivity have found that dogs are remarkably accurate at reading subtle physiological cues, changes in breathing, micro-expressions, vocal tone, and even the chemical composition of stress hormones in human sweat. Your dog isn't reacting to what you said. They're reacting to what your body announced before you even opened your mouth. The nudge in these moments is less of a request and more of an offering. I noticed. I'm here. There's also the version that happens at reunions, when you walk through the door after hours away, and your dog, instead of, or in addition to the full-body tail-wagging welcome, presses their nose firmly against your hand the moment you crouch down. This one is rooted in that ancient pack greeting behavior. Nose contact at reunion is a form of social reaffirmation. It's your dog confirming, in the most direct tactile language they have, that the bond is intact. You left. You came back. And they're touching you to make sure the world is still organized the way it should be. What all of these variations share: the stillness nudge, the unprompted one, the tension-sensing reach, is a single underlying truth about what your dog understands your relationship to be. Researchers call this proximity-seeking behavior, and it sits at the center of canine attachment theory. Dogs, like human infants with a trusted caregiver, use a primary attachment figure as what behavioral scientists call a secure base, a point of safety from which they can venture out and to which they return when the world feels uncertain. The nose nudge is one of the most direct expressions of that dynamic. Your dog isn't just touching you. They're orienting toward their secure base. Studies have shown that physical contact between dogs and their people triggers a measurable release of oxytocin in both species simultaneously. The dog's heart rate steadies. Cortisol levels, the hormone most associated with stress, decrease. And here's the part that should quietly astonish you. The same neurochemical response occurs in you. You co-regulate each other. You are each other's calm. There's also something worth sitting with here. Your dog chose this. They could have gone to their bed, looked out of the window, found a toy. They came to you. That choice is not random, and it is not small. It is the fullest expression of trust that a dog can offer. That this specific creature, with all of their ancient instincts and their exquisitely tuned senses, has determined that you are the safest place in their world. You did that. Your presence, your consistency, your warmth made that possible. And here's something that surprises most people. The benefits of this exchange flow in both directions far more than we tend to acknowledge. We often frame these moments as our dogs needing us, seeking comfort, seeking regulation, seeking connection. But the research on human-animal bonding tells a different story. Studies measuring the physiological effects of brief dog contact on humans show reductions in blood pressure, decreased anxiety markers, and improved mood that outlast the interaction itself. There's a reason therapy dogs are placed in hospitals and crisis centers. The nose nudge, the soft press of contact, does something measurable to the human nervous system. Anthropologists who study domestication describe dogs and humans as having co-evolved not just behaviorally, but emotionally. We didn't just change dogs. Dogs changed us. We became creatures who needed this contact as much as they do. So the next time your dog crosses the room for no apparent reason and presses their nose against your hand, know that something genuinely reciprocal is happening. You are not just receiving comfort, you are giving it. And your nervous system, running on the same ancient code, is quietly grateful. So what is your dog telling you when that cool, soft pressure finds your hand in the middle of an ordinary Tuesday? They're telling you that you are their North Star, that in a world full of information and sensation and uncertainty, you are the fixed point they navigate by. They're telling you, with the oldest and quietest language they possess, that you are the place where their nervous system finally exhales. The next time it happens, and it will happen, probably today, let yourself receive it fully. Not as a distraction, not as a request to be managed, as what it actually is, a declaration. One they make without words, without expectation, with nothing but the honest pressure of their nose against your hand. They choose you. In every nudge, every check-in, every quiet crossing of the room, they choose you. And honestly, after everything, that might be one of the most remarkable things any creature can say. Thanks for watching. If you loved learning about your furry best friend, be sure to like and subscribe for more.